Volkanovski says he fought too soon coming off a loss. He said, look, fair play, no excuses. And I want you to hear that, guys, because if you don't understand the tone that I repeat this story to you in, it will be very easy for you to think that this was an excuses-making tour, and I just want to assure you it wasn't. Now, let me speak freely to you. Let me tell you what was said, but it wasn't. This was Volk being candid. Here's what happened. And there is a big difference between an excuse and a reason, right? And that line gets very fine, and we see people abuse it all the time, but Volk was sharing the reason that he thought he had the outcome that he had at the time that he had it, specifically talking about Ilia Topuria. He said, look, took a shin across the head. It was clean. I was hurt. I was down. I was out. And he's talking about his fight with Islam, number 2. Okay, that's what he's referencing. He gives himself about 3 months. He's back in there in Anaheim against a young up-and-comer, an undefeated, very handsome up-and-comer named Ilia Topuria. But most of you did not know what an Ilia Topuria was at that time. You just didn't. Some real insiders, Teddy Atlas, for example, was telling anybody willing to listen, this guy, this Topuria guy, has brought the best pure boxing skills to MMA ever. But it was still too young, and did we really believe that he was going to be able to use those skills to get the jump on someone as great as Volkanovski? And the answer for that time period is no. No, we did not think that. So they go out there and they fight. Boom. Ilia puts one on his chin. It was the exact shot that Teddy Atlas told the world on the pre-show that he would land. He lands it. He's champion of the world. And put Volk in a very tough spot. It put him in a tough spot because it required a break. Now you have to take a break. The one thing that Volkanovski hates is breaks, and I get it. I get it, and I relate to it. But it's something that draws me to Volkanovski. It makes me cheer for and want good thing for Volkanovski when I understand what a dirty competitor he is at heart. It's not about the money. It's not about the main events. It's not about the titles. I want the hardest guy, but I want him next, and I want next to be soon. The only thing that Volkanovski ever did up until this moment at a post-fight press conference, if you go track his career, this is a literal statement. The only thing he ever did is ask the UFC for a quick turnaround. He would never say, call my manager, talk to my people, let's renegotiate, I want a bonus. Never. Never. I will get what I'm supposed to get, just get me in there so I got an opportunity to get it quickly. And then at some point, he slowed down and he started to talk to us about why. And that was a hard talk. That was not a talk he wanted to have, but somebody brought it up. He promised to do the interview, so he finished it out. And he said he likes to play. And it never sounded like anything more than a booze situation. Sounds like maybe even at home and with the booze. But he liked the booze nonetheless. And he's got a family. And he doesn't like to booze around his family. And he knows himself well enough that if he has a fight and he's in a training camp, he won't touch the booze. That's it. It was very honest. It was very objective. It was extremely relatable. Where everybody's looking around going, yeah, hey, Volk, free time's not good for me either. It's better when I got a full schedule too. And it almost endeared Volk to the audience in another way. But you still run into the problem that Volk has not only lost 3 of his last 4. Is that what it was? Because Islam twice, then Ilia, but he had one in between, so he's lost 3 of his last 4. He's been knocked out twice, once viciously, and they're going to put him into a world title fight. So now we're talking 5 rounds against the new face. So now you've got a younger guy against the older guy. That's what Diego Lopez represented. I mean, there was nothing about that fight on paper that was good for Volkanovski. We forced him, as a community, we forced him to take a longer break than he was used to because of these knockouts and some of this concussion protocol. So Volk gets in there, and he's dominant, man. He doesn't just beat Lopez. He beats him up. He beats him from pillar to post. He beats him on the ground. He beats him standing. He beats him with the kicks. He beats him with the elbows and the hands. Volk looked awesome. And Volk is just now in a situation where, looking back at his career and trying to think of the adjustments or what could have I done differently, he's only got one thing, and that one thing is I should have taken a longer break. I should have shown more discipline, not having to have this signed contract and this carrot dangling in front of me to be out doing the right things. I should have been doing them anyway, knowing that that carrot and that contract are coming. I think that's very mature. And he's in the middle of it again right now. This break business, not knowing what's next. Now, that's going to change very quickly. Like, you might be hearing later this week, that kind of quickly. You're going to hear within the next 2 weeks, that kind of quickly. What's next for Volk and when is it going to happen? So, stand by for that. I agree with Volk. Breaks are terrible. But there are times when you got to have them, and an excuse and a reason are not the same thing. Volkanovski was very honest with us, the audience. For that, we need to thank him.